welcome back to the deep dive. So if you're one of those learners who believes knowledge is power, especially when you're jet lagged, then this deep dive is definitely for you. We are going straight into the world of travel communication. I mean, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
You finally get to your hotel, you're exhausted, and suddenly checking in feels like a linguistic obstacle course.
It really can. You're supposed to be relaxing, but one little miscommunication about your reservation or maybe a deposit, and suddenly you're in stress mode.
Vacation mode is off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why we've been digging into the source material, specifically some excerpts from a guide called Hotel English, Check-in, Deposits, and Complaints.
Okay.
Our mission today isn't just about teaching a few phrases. It's about giving you the actual conversational scripts you need to handle these things with, total confidence.
We want to get rid of that awkwardness, that frustration. The goal is to turn those friction points, the unknown charges, the difficult complaint, into simple, effective transactions.
Yeah.
By the end of this, you'll know how to check in smoothly, understand the money talk, and most importantly, how to complain politely but firmly if your room is, well, not what you paid for.
It's all about using helpful, precise language to get real-life results. So let's unpack this with that first critical interaction. The moment you walk up to the counter.
Okay, so the opening dialogue, it's usually pretty straightforward, but I guess nailing the response sets a professional tone from the get-go.
It does.
So if we're role-playing, I walk up to the counter, the receptionist is going to ask, do you have a reservation?
And the absolute shortest path to success is just giving your name. Your response should be, yes, under the name, whatever your name is.
So don't bother with confirmation numbers or anything yet?
Nope, no need to volunteer all that. Once they find you in the system, they'll handle the rest. That's step one. But this is where the conversation can often take a turn.
Security deposit.
Security deposit. The moment you hand over your credit card and they start talking about holding funds or pre-authorization.
And your heart just drops because you think you're being double charged.
Exactly. And the guide focuses really heavily on the difference between a charge and a block. This is crucial.
Okay. A charge versus a block.
Right. The term security deposit means the hotel blocks the money. It's a temporary hold on your card specifically for what they call incidentals.
Incidentals. That always sounds so vague. What are we actually talking about here? The minibar.
The minibar, yeah. Room service, any pay-per-view movies or potential damage. The block just ensures they don't have to chase you for $20 after you've already left.
Right.
The key thing the sources want you to understand is that it's collateral. It's not a final bill. You have to sort of internalize that it's temporary to avoid that panic.
That context is,
Yeah.
That's incredibly helpful. So how long does this block usually stay on your card? Because it can feel like it takes forever to clear.
It does feel long. So the hotel releases the hold the second you check out, assuming everything's clear.
Right.
But it's your bank that takes time to process that release. It's usually, 1 to 5 business days. And a little tip, the sources suggest using a credit card for this, not a debit card.
Why is that?
Well, with a debit card, that money is actually gone from your accessible balance. It feels more real. With a credit card, it's just a hold against your limit. It's less disruptive.
That is a fantastic tactical tip. Okay, so we've cleared the money hurdle. We have our key card. We know to look for the elevator. But how do we, confirm things without sounding like we're already expecting problems?
That's all about conversational nuance. So when they hand you the key card, instead of just saying thanks, you could try something like, excuse me, could you just confirm the magnetic strip is active?
Oh, that's smart.
It shows you know what you're talking about, and it handles the single most common problem, the key that doesn't work, before you even walk away.
I like that. What about confirming something like, say, breakfast?
So instead of just asking the basic, is breakfast included, you can be more efficient.
How so?
Ask, could you confirm the hours and location for breakfast tomorrow? That one question gets you 2 critical pieces of info at once. It shows you're planning ahead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Card in hand, deposit understood, breakfast located, we're on our way to the room. But, let's be real. Things can be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
The light is out, the views of a dumpster, whatever.
Yeah.
The source material is very clear on this. Report any problems immediately.
Do not wait. This is really the core skill of this whole deep dive. When you need something fixed, your tone is absolutely everything.
You have to be firm, but you also have to.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be polite.
Exactly. Which brings us to what the guide calls the magic phrase.
And that phrase is, I'm afraid there's a problem. Okay, but hold on. If I say, I'm afraid, doesn't that sound a little weak? I mean, if the room is genuinely unacceptable, if I paid for a quiet room and there's a party next door, I don't feel afraid. I feel annoyed.
That's a great question, and it's about the linguistic mechanics of it. You're not actually apologizing for their mistake.
So what am I doing?
The phrase, I'm afraid, in this context just signals regret that the issue exists at all. It's not about you. It tells the employee, hey, I'm not here to yell at you personally.
Ah, so it frames it as an unfortunate situation we both have to deal with.
Exactly. It disarms them. It makes them want to help you, not defend themselves against an attack.
That makes a huge difference. Okay, so let's run through a few scenarios. Scenario 1, comfort issues.
Yep.
The AC is broken, the room is boiling hot.
You lead with the magic phrase, I'm afraid the air conditioning in my room isn't working. It's very hot. Then you offer a solution. Could you send maintenance up, or is another room available?
You give them options. I like that.
Right. It gives them paths to a resolution.
Okay, scenario 2, noisy neighbors. This one is super frustrating when you're trying to sleep.
It is. And with this one, you absolutely have to ask for a solution. Otherwise, you just get a generic, sorry to hear that.
So what's the script?
I'm afraid the people next door are being very loud. I'm struggling to sleep. Can I please move to a quieter room tonight? You state the problem, and then you immediately pivot to the request.
It's direct. It pushes for action.
A good complaint always suggests the desired outcome. It just speeds everything up.
Okay, now for the big one. Booking discrepancies. You paid for a specific thing, a sea view, 2 beds, whatever, and you didn't get it. You paid a premium for this.
Absolutely. Here, the source provides a great script that uses contrast. You use evidence.
Okay, so let's say I paid an extra $100 a night for a sea view, and I open the curtains and I'm looking at a brick wall.
Your script is concise and it's powerful. I'm afraid there seems to be a mistake. I booked and paid for a sea view room, but this room faces the parking lot.
And then?
Then you put the ball back in their court. What steps can you take to rectify this? That final question is crucial. It puts the responsibility for the solution right back on them.
That's the perfect blend of polite and assertive. You've been respectful, but you've also made it clear that a contract has been broken.
Exactly. Once you've got that down, asking for something simple like extra towels feels so much easier.
Right. So let's move on to those simpler but still important service requests.
Yeah, let's cover the essentials for comfort and logistics.
Okay, let's start with the absolute basic, Wi-Fi.
Instead of just demanding, what's the password, frame it as needing help. Excuse me, I need to get online. What is the Wi-Fi network name and password for guests, please?
Asking for the network name, too, is smart. Avoids a follow-up trip.
Precisely. And for something like extra towels, just be specific. Could I have 2 extra bath towels delivered to room 405, please? The what, how many, and where. It minimizes errors.
Okay, now for the trickier ones, where you're asking the hotel for a favor, let's talk about the late checkout. Your flight's not till the afternoon, but checkout is at noon.
This is a perfect test of your polite conversational skills because the answer could easily be no or yes, but for a fee.
So you have to phrase it carefully.
Very carefully. You have to be tentative. I realize this is a late request, but would it be possible to arrange a late checkout, perhaps until 2 p.m.?
And you should probably mention the fee.
You should. Add, if there's a fee for that, could you let me know what it is? It shows you respect their policies and you've already anticipated their potential objection.
That immediately makes you seem like a reasonable person. Okay, what about another tricky one? Disputing a charge on your bill. You see a $20 charge from the minibar, but you never even opened it.
This requires very specific, non-accusatory language. Don't say, you charged me wrong.
So what do you say?
You say, excuse me, I see a charge here for the minibar. I didn't use anything from it during my stay. Could you please check the usage log for room 602?
You're asking them to check their own records. It makes it about a system error, not an accusation.
Exactly. It's a fantastic tactic. And finally, that last critical favor. You've checked out, but your flight isn't for hours. You're stuck with your bags.
We're asking for luggage storage.
That's the industry term. You can just ask simply, would it be possible to store our luggage until 4 p.m.? A polite question with a specific time makes it easy for them to say yes.
So when you pull all this together, what does it really mean for you, the traveler?
It means we've replaced guesswork with tactical language. I mean, the main conclusion from the source material is just. It's undeniably true. Being consistently polite gets you exponentially better service.
Especially when you're complaining or asking for something extra.
For sure. And we have to reiterate those opening phrases. Politeness begins with that verbal handshake. Always start with, excuse me, or could you please?
Or the really subtle one, I'm afraid there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. If we connect this to the bigger picture, just internalizing these scripts gives you so much confidence and control. You're no longer fumbling. You're using a proven linguistic formula.
You're not just a guest anymore. You're a well-informed customer who knows how to communicate. That really is the goal of a deep dive like this. And it leads us to our final thought for you to mull over. We've seen how precise, gentle phrasing like saying, I'm afraid there's a problem instead of you messed up, dramatically improves the outcome in a hotel.
Yeah, it's a huge shift.
So as such a small change in framing can reshape a high-stakes interaction like that so favorably, how else might adopting this same precise, polite approach reshape your daily requests, your negotiations, even how you give feedback? Completely outside of travel.
Think about how those small shifts in language can lead to really big shifts in outcomes everywhere you go.
That was a deep dive into hotel English. We'll see you next time.